What's up,
What's up,
YouTube family?
All right, YouTube, we are back and we have Ben Shapiro. It says, kid calls Shapiro wake. Oh my God, ugh. Kid calls Shapiro woke.
It's completely roasted. Kid calls Shapiro woke. Gets completely roasted. All right.
Why do I want to say awake so bad? Like, I don't know. Oh my God. I don't want to get it wrong because they come counsel you. All right. Well, yeah, so we got Ben Shapiro being called woke by look like a grown person. I'm not sure what the title says kid, but I guess because it's a mindset thing. But hey.
Yeah. Let's get it.
You ready?
Let's
all right.
get it.
Oh, then it says if you are talking.
Okay.
So he had to.
Let's get it, baby.
Put all that in there. Okay.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's okay.
I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear.
No, this
it's
guy,
okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Okay, so let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
It's gonna be interesting.
Do you come from Holocaust survivors, or are you a Jewish family that didn't?
So my great-great-grandparents arrived here. A lot of our extended family was killed in the Holocaust, but our immediate family
Your great-great-grandparents, but not your grandparents.
Right.
Oh, do you have friends whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors or anything like that?
Of course, many of them. Yeah, I've helped write memoirs of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah. Their families are kind of messed up, right? Like my family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I would imagine it would have
They
impact.
teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean, that's the way it works.
Okay, so you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, it's okay. No, it's okay.
I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear.
No, this
it's
guy,
okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Okay, so let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
What? He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine. Let him go. Let's hear it.
Come on.
So explain how that's woke.
So, I mean, the whole thing is like, let's see. So during Silent Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about like the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be
so let me
things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why? So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society are so. Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here. I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well, I mean,
when I went to go get my first tattoo, the guy had lightning bolts and 88s tattooed on his neck. And as a Jewish person, that's really messed up. It's basically a threat.
There are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No, it's not
I don't really want
to
get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments. Now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
Okay, I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is. Wokeism is a different thing. Wokeism suggests that all inequalities of today are attributable to not only historic injustices, but also continuing injustices in the now. And that all disparity is attributable to discrimination.
Like that, but a
conservative. Not just that.
A conservative is the only person. I want to know why. Why is it that conservatives are the only people who define it like that? Why are conservatives the only people?
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop here because this is going nowhere. But
what's up?
I'm gonna have to stop with this with you because this is going nowhere. All I'm going to say is this. To sum up,
I just am trying to understand your perspective.
He gave it.
Just one more second.
He gave it.
On a fundamental level, you're shifting definitions to avoid the consequences of your own argument. And if the idea is, And final point. And final point. And final point. If you are going to hold on, if you are also, just final point to sum up there.
Wow.
Final
well,
point
I don't know how I can follow that.
Yeah,
but,
one more. I just want to make, honestly,
Go ahead.
I want to make one final point to sum up there. If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society. So if the idea is... If the idea is that past trauma always equals current inequality, or that my actions in, say, robbing a convenience store are attributable to bad actions that happened in Alabama in 1930, the answer to that is no. Don't rob the convenience store.
Right.
The only way that you're going to be able to break the chain of history is to make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions. What they like to do is bitch about problems that existed 60 years ago and blame those for failures to solve them now.
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's it. Complaining about a problem that happened 60 years ago.
They said 1930. I'm like, here we go.
Like,
when he said 1930, I was like, here we go. This don't make no sense.
I mean, okay, he talks about what generational trauma equals woke. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean,
what he's saying, the thing is what he's saying is that because my ancestors went through something. And
that means I'm gonna.
He said 1930. Let's repeat what he said. That means that trauma is passed down from ancestor to ancestor. So now it's passed on to me. I'm dealing with trauma from slavery.
The same trauma.
The same trauma
that they dealt with in slavery. You're dealing with.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense.
And then when he was saying that, when he started out with slavery, I said,
when he
I thought about Shan, when he started out with 1930 and slavery, talking about slavery, I was like, listen, man,
the Holocaust.
We don't, he said 1930, so he said Holocaust. Okay, well, at the end of the day, man, things happen. It happened. Only thing we do is move forward.
Yes, but you had some people whose family suffered through that, but they also came out on a positive end, like Ben said.
I get it.
But this guy is like trying to say that, hey, because my grandparents and my grandparents suffered with it, and it's still affecting me, and it's making it where I can't move on, or it's making it where I can't have a good life because they went through it.
This man switched to slavery. And he said, what about slavery? And I hate, that they use that. I don't need your help with that. I'm good. I'm not worrying about something that happened in the past. I got to move forward in life. If I continue worrying about what happened in the past, I'll never be able to move forward. And what happens is you hold on to hate.
Yeah, hold on to hate, anger.
Holding on to hate. And the thing is, unforgiveness is like a prison. And the person can have you in prison because you harvesting unforgiveness.
Yeah. So,
and the thing is that how can I be that angry that I want somebody to apologize to me and something that happened? I'm talking about 1930s, whatever. Yeah. Whatever slavery, when slavery started. Why? I'm still angry.
Well,
every ancestor they passing anger down. Here, man, they did us wrong.
So now you go. So now because you angry, excuse me, and because what happened to your ancestors years ago, make sure that you break in the cars.
I'm gonna give you the baton, man. I was mad. They did my brother like this, man. You go to baton to the next family member. I'm gonna give you the baton, man. It was given to me in 1960. Now I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you the baton, man. It's given to me in 1960. Now it's 1970 and 80, and now I'm gonna give you the baton, man. It's
2000.
It's 2000.
1990.
I'm gonna give you the baton, man. So at the end of the day, you had handed down a baton of hate. So this is my thing.
That doesn't.
Just get over it.
Yes, but it's like this. You mean to tell me that if your family, okay, he says generational trauma, and I think said generation. I guess from the guy's perspective, generational trauma basically equals wokeness or whatever they want to call it, woke, whatever. Don't change the definition of woke. Anyway, you mean to tell me that because my family suffered this traumatic experience that I was not a part of directly, I should not be able to progress in a positive way from that? I should be only told that I can only continue to suffer and continue to make bad choices? No, I won't settle for that, because then you're stuck with what? Either being in jail or dead. You got two options: jail or dead.
Jail, dead, or miserable.
Well, that too.
Walk around miserable.
That too. I would choose
it's the what about me attitude. What about me? What about me? They did me wrong. What about me? What about me? That's all it is a what about me. When you play the victim,
well, no, you did it to my family.
It's
a you did it to my family. What about me?
Because the thing is, when you start playing the victim mentality, only thing you're doing is thinking about yourself.
Well, at that point, yeah.
So that's when it becomes what about me. You're only concerned about what about me. They did me so wrong.
And I can't move on and make something of myself?
No, you can't. No, you can't. With hate and dwelling in the past, you will never be able to move on until you start dwelling in the past. As simple as that.
Wow.
Walk backwards and see how far you get in traffic.
No, thank you. No, thank you. So I guess I wrote down part of what Ben had said. Wokeness is what? Continued injustice happening now, or they think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Continued injustice happening now. Continued injustice happening now.
Walk backwards in traffic and see what happens.
Woke just meant that when you wake up after you were asleep. The definition should not even be that deep.
Okay.
I don't know, but correct me if I'm wrong. I just wrote down part of it.
Keep
but
walking
it just,
backwards. When you have the victim mentality, you're walking backwards.
In traffic. Okay. On the highway?
Traffic highway, you walking backwards. You're going to end up falling eventually.
Well, yeah, that's
true. And you won't get too far.
Yeah, it ain't going to work out for you too well. All right, YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. But stop changing the definitions of these words. Oh, my God.
Can you picture? Think about this. You in New York, and 5 or 6 people walking backwards. People going to look.
Yeah, they're going to look.
In New York, it's like, when I first went to New York and I was walking and bumping, people was bumping to me. I'm like, excuse me. And my uncle turned around and said, man, stop saying, excuse me, man.
He was the only one.
I said, man, look, man, I mean, they bumping into me, I'm bumping into them. That's what, look, everybody's doing that.
Everybody's bumping into everybody.
So can you imagine 5 or 6 or 20 people walking backwards? That's going to catch somebody's attention. In New York City, it's going to catch, what's wrong with them? They're going to think either there's a movie going on, something's wrong. That's how people look when they have this victim mentality. It's like they're walking backwards. And they don't even know it. That's how you look to me.
That is insane. I just don't know the other word to put it. That's scary.
And then you consistently telling me, I'm walking forward.
I'm walking forward.
No. You're walking backwards,
you're walking backwards.
Look
Look down at your feet. Look at your feet.
So when you come to me and say 1969, the conversation's over, man. I'm done. I'm done.
You know when
because I know what
you know in 1975.
Soon somebody say in 1969, you be like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
Here we go.
It's 2022.
About to be 2023.
Right,
here we go.
That's it for me.
All right, YouTube. Don't forget like and subscribe. I'll say it again. Peace.